What's up, Mets fans? Back at your Orange and Blue Thing, Season 7, Episode 13. I'm Darren and that is Julia Quadrino. What's up, J Quad?
What's up?
How about a little bit more excitement?
What's up? What's up?
What's up is how many Mets fans? I mean, I know that you kind of take a step back a little bit on the Twitter lately. I mean, I keep up with what you're doing. You tweet every once in a while, but
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. The sky was falling about 10 days ago.
What a difference a week makes.
What a freaking
the show we had last week.
Last show we had last week,
So
we're like, we're not talking about the
depressing.
Mets. Let's talk. I don't even know what we talked about last week. It was a fun time though.
We had a great time. We announced that Bennett was going to be throwing at the first pitch
First
in
pitch,
Philly.
great
so
memory.
we had some good news, and then that was really it. And we were like, this sucks. The Mets suck. This season sucks. We suck. And then we went home, and then everything changed.
Yeah. I mean, what a weekend for the Mets. I mean, clearly at this point, it's a little bit old news. We probably should have done our show like Sunday night, but whatever, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, Saturday was obviously rained out, so we didn't get to hang out again.
Right, I know.
You've been in
I
one
know.
game, right? The
Yeah.
Bark in the Park.
It was Bark in the Park. It wasn't even a 7-line game.
Yes, you've been to a game this year.
I am coming May 31st, that Wednesday night game. I won't be able to tailgate because I'm going to have to work first. But since it's a night game, I'll just come when I'm done, and then I can come for the whole rest of the game. And I'm very excited about
that is next Wednesday night at Citi Field. It is also Howie Rose bobblehead night.
I know.
Talking bobblehead,
So
which we
excited.
are giving away on the show today. It's not here. The Mets sent them out, but whatever. You guys have probably seen it by now.
Yeah.
It's a talking bobblehead. You hit a little button. Howie says, "Put in the books," which obviously,
So cool.
what else would he be
They
saying?
really stepped it up this year with the
Big
giveaways.
time too, because they're weekdays.
Yeah.
So like,
That's a big giveaway for a week.
a giant-
Especially he's being inducted into the Mets Hall of Fame this year. That's like a big.
you know what's
big
great?
giveaway
I
for
don't even need to
Wednesday.
make these notes because you're saying everything that's on this paper already,
I haven't
which is
even looked
excellent.
at
She
it.
just walked in. We did our little live.
This wasn't even on my desk when I walked.
No,
in.
no. She said, "Where's my paper? I don't fucking need it." Oh, speaking of fucking, we will get to some profanity a little bit later.
Perfect.
This isn't a clean show. It never has been.
Never has been, much to my grandmother's dismay. But whatever.
Well, my dad gave up because years ago he would watch the show, and clearly I'm already older. He's older than me, but
Yeah.
obviously that's how I'm born. But he didn't like that we would curse every once in a while, and I'm like, well, that's just how we. This whole show is about like if the camera wasn't even on,
Right.
what would we be
We're
talking
just
about if we're
talking.
at the bar?
I know my grandmother watched when we had David Wright on the show, and I must have dropped an F-bomb. She's like, I was mortified. I'm like, log off, Grandma. I don't care. You can't get past that. Well, whatever. But apparently that's a thing of the older generation because Buck wasn't too happy about it either. But I don't know if we want to get into that yet.
We'll get into it in a little bit. Someone just wrote in the comments, thank you to the fact checkers, that we went dark on YouTube. So hopefully that's not.
Oh no.
Hopefully that's just his stream and not all of the stream when it comes to us. Let me just double check. I went on YouTube and searched the word YouTube. What an idiot.
That's what happens when you're trying to
No,
multitask.
we're live. We're live.
No, we're fine.
All right. So Ryan Simmons, never mind. It was just him. He wrote in the comments.
Thank you for the panic.
Yeah, I appreciate the heads up. You know what? The fact checkers are not only fact checkers, they're also
There are
producers.
I was going to say, I appreciate you for even bringing that up because
Yeah.
you could have just said nothing.
So last week we discussed that we had the week off prior to that because I was in Disney.
Yes.
And in those 2 weeks, the Mets only won 4 games. So now, not that they're blowing the doors off anyone. They're
No.
only a game above 500. But how the tables have turned, because up until last night, they went 7-3 over the last 10. Now they're 6-4 clearly because they lost last night. But the Braves are going in the opposite direction. So the Braves are 4-6. We're 6-10. We're catching up.
know. They showed a shot at Wrigley last night of the flags that show the standings. I was like, the Mets are in second place. How the hell did that happen?
everyone was tied for second,
I
basically.
know, it's crazy. Well, I truly was not paying much attention to the standings, but I had to imagine we were like close to the bottom. So when I saw we were second, I was like, wow. Thank you, NL East, for keeping it close. And
Yeah, I mean, no one's really running away
bit.
with it yet. You know, it's clearly, again, it's only May. So,
Right.
you know, I wrote something in the caption here, like, at least for the time being, the Mets are putting the skeptics at bay because
Me.
April,
I
yeah,
am the skeptic.
Julia, what do they call asterisk or whatever, little star, and then on the bottom it says Julia. Yeah, because clearly it's such a freaking long season.
Yes.
And then every time I would write something on Twitter, and everyone always says, "Well, you have this license. You have to be positive. That's the only way you make money, yada yada, whatever." I understand that the 7 lines of business, and yes, there are certain ways that I have to write things where I'm like, "Fuck
Right.
this team. I'm never going to a game again," because that wouldn't make sense. Because I am going to go to a game again.
Go to a game.
But when people would write like, "Is it over yet? Can you cancel it yet? Is it done? Are we allowed to say it's over?" I'm like, "No, you're not. It's
No.
May."
Well, no, I've agreed with that. I haven't been saying the season's done. They were just not fun to watch.
I would sit here with Pete McCarthy, and he'd be like, Darren, he'd tell me like it's over, and I would sit there in like August. I'm like, Pete, we're only 4 out of the wild card. If we do this, and he would just look at me in that seat, and then like I was an absolute insane person.
Well,
But there was a documentary that came out, and I think right after the 2006 season. I can't remember who put it together, but it's called Mathematically Alive. I don't know if you ever watched it.
no.
It's great. It's all about the Mets, and they follow around a few fans. And it's old now. I think it was on like tape,
Yeah.
or maybe DVD. I don't even know if it
Probably DVD.
landed on the internet. But Mathematically Alive is basically how I live my life. You just spit all over yourself.
Everywhere.
Julia's having a stroke.
I think the microphone blocked that, but that was like a full line of spit from just I can't wait to watch that back later. Fact checkers, did you just see the spit that came out of my mouth?
If
I don't know
not,
how that
we will
happened.
zoom in later and put it in super slow-mo.
Oh god, that was so good.
Like last night, did you see the slow-mo clip of you probably didn't, because every time I tell you something, you're like, I
watched last
the squirrel.
night.
No, the Yankee game.
Oh, the squirrel.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Weird, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's all
So
awesome
random, but whatever. I
though.
feel like there's always squirrels on the field now.
Bristol is a stone cold killer, my dog.
Oh no.
Which is normal. That's what dogs
Very
do.
normal, but it's always jarring to see. Did Amelia see it?
I'm working. We're all over the map already. Screw this page.
My spit.
Julia's spitting on herself. We're talking about my dog being a killer. So she's a Dachshund Terrier mix for people who don't know. Dachshund. Dachshund. Why do people say Dachshund?
Because that's how it's spelled.
Okay.
But it's pronounced Dachshund. You're
Dachshund.
fine. That's a very common mistake.
Dachshund Terrier mix.
Uh-huh.
We don't know what the terrier portion is. Whatever. Who knows? Who cares? And she's very quick for how small she is.
Uh-huh.
So about I don't know. I guess it was last year before I closed the pool. I tell you, she caught something.
Yes.
A squirrel. She
Yes.
caught a squirrel, which I think is impressive.
It is very impressive.
And I
'cause
ran
she's
out
tiny,
there
too.
with the pool net to like get them to break up, and the squirrel like limped away. Probably died, but I couldn't find it. So I'm on the computer yesterday, 2 days ago, and I hear Kelly upstairs yelling like bloody murder out the window. And I'm like, what? She's like, Bristol has something in her mouth. And I thought it was like, maybe she had like, I've been working on the
Poison.
van, like, a screw or
Yeah.
something. Is the dog like going to swallow something dangerous?
Yeah.
And I thought she was in the house. I didn't know she was in the yard. She comes out and Kelly's distraught and crying
Aw.
and sees that there's a dead bunny in our yard.
Oh no.
So Bristol's body count now is 2.
Oh,
At least, I bet you it's way more than
it's
that.
probably way more. She probably has a stash somewhere.
She
you've never
sits on the
found.
back steps like she is guarding a castle. Seriously.
She is.
But
She is guarding a castle.
she sits there and
You
waits
got
and,
a princess and queen in
and
that
she
house.
shakes while she's looking like she's so fired up to try to catch something. But she thought she did something wrong after like I picked it up and threw over the fence and she was
Aw.
like,
And you know they do that to impress you.
I wasn't
like,
impressed.
she did
well,
that
I was
for
kind of
you,
impressed. I was kind of
because
impressed.
you are so hard to earn her respect, or she can't earn your
Oh
respect.
yeah, I could be without the dog
Yeah,
tomorrow.
she
Like,
did
it's-
that for you.
All right. Well, anyway, if your dogs are killers too, so Kelly's Googling like, is it safe? Like she wasn't eating it.
Right.
She killed it. There was no blood.
Yeah,
I just squished it.
just dead.
All right. Anyway,
Rest in peace.
Sanger versus Stroman tonight in Chicago.
Ooh.
You went to our Wrigley outing or no?
No.
Have you
I
been
didn't.
there?
I haven't.
It's really
On
fun.
my list.
So Wrigley's always
No,
a
it's
great
not on
time.
yours.
No, I mean it would be the Cubs. I mean, if
Yeah.
you don't know, you probably have. You don't want to hear me complaining all the time, but actually, I don't really complain that much.
No.
But we had our deposit in for an outing at Wrigley. It was going to be outing 100, and now we're up to 145 or something like that. So you could do the math. It was before the pandemic. Outing 100 was going to be out there because it was our road outing 1.
Yes.
So it would have been so sick. It was
1
our
to
first
100.
ever road game. It would have been our 100th total game.
Right.
And I put my deposit in, and I guess up the chain of command it went, and the Wrigley Field bleachers are first come first serve seating.
Uh-huh.
So when they saw our first outing, and we knew that was first come first serve, so it was a day game. I think I told the fans to get there at like 9.
Yeah.
So we got there early. We got breakfast, waited online. We had a hostel close by, which like a ton of us stayed at. And then we just camped out. So when we walked in, we sat down, and the Cubs fans that showed up were like,
No thanks.
yo, this is my seat. I always sit here, row 2, whatever,
Yeah.
bench 2, whatever. Like, well, not today, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's first come, first serve. Sorry. Like, we're not trying to ruffle feathers, but this is what it is.
Right.
So when we went to go back for outing 100, they were like, yeah, you can't sit in the bleachers. And my paperwork said bleachers.
Yeah.
And I even got the Mets involved. Like, we tried to like, hey, like, what could we do to make this happen?
Right.
And they basically just said no. They wanted to spread us out around like 20 sections in the ballpark.
So stupid.
Yeah.
Such a word I'm not going to say.
Well, okay, you could say it if you want. I mean, this.
no, it's
All
okay.
right. Anyway, so that's why we don't go back to Wrigley. Eventually, though, with my understanding, with how not understanding, it's just life. I've been through like 5 or 6 different reps with the Mets.
Right.
Phillies, I'm on my 3rd. Boston, I'm on my same as the first one.
Uh-huh.
Nationals, I'm on my 2nd. Like every place, the turnover is so quick because a lot of the people in the group sales department, they either move up the chain or they get hired by another team with a better position.
Right.
So it is what it is.
Just wait it out.
I ripped them though. I did a whole live stream. It was like the most viewed because everyone was so excited to go.
I know. It was a big deal.
Yeah. So that's the story. We will eventually, I hope, go back.
Right.
If not, we'll be on the south side because we haven't been to White Sox yet.
That's true.
So that's what's going to happen. Anyway, so after the rain out on Saturday, clearly we kind of knew that was going to happen. I was waiting for that to happen because you checked the weather report on Thursday and Friday.
It monsooned.
Did you know what my plan was going to be? I didn't tell you last week when you said I'm going to leave early. I didn't tell you I wasn't going.
I know, which was like, I feel like half the reason I was even trying to go on Saturdays because I didn't want you to be mad at me for not going again. You weren't even going to be there either, but it's fine.
Well, the reason being why I'm like not saying when I'm not going to a home outing anymore is because
want people to make an issue of it.
What did the people say? It's like when the inmates run the asylum and it gets nuts. Like, not that I'm like that strict, but I feel like
does though. Who's saying that?
Lizzie has said it. Like if I missed that game that one time and
maybe I wasn't there.
I had this big like moral dilemma. Like if I miss a game, are people going to be like mad at me?
And I was like, that's so silly. Just go. Like no one's going to be mad. If anyone's mad, I don't quite understand.
She won't tell me, but she said that people did say to Lizzie during the game, like, "Oh, Darren's not here," like talking shit.
But that's so stupid. And I totally understand from Lizzie's perspective because then all of a sudden now Lizzie is essentially in charge if somebody acts out, whatever. And I wouldn't want that responsibility either. But I don't.
But I had a wedding to go to, so it's like, listen, Kelly's in the wedding.
Life.
I got to go to this wedding.
Yeah.
I've known, Maria. It's Kelly's friend Maria. I've known her for decades. So I was like, I'm going to the wedding.
Right.
But if I would have said I'm going to the wedding last Wednesday, you got some people in the section who'd be like, "Oh, Darren's not here. Like, no rules." Like,
but that's how old are you?
I don't know. Yeah,
Dad's not here.
You know how shit goes.
So weird.
But anyway, my whole plan was it was gonna be such a crazy day. Kelly had to get her hair and makeup done last Saturday morning at 5:30 in the morning. The church was at noon. So I'm like, all right, I'll wake up early and drive you there. We get there from Islip to Patchogue area where I live, and we were like 4 minutes away. She forgot her dress. So at that point, I'm like, fuck, I guess I'm up. I was initially going to go back home and try to rest.
Right.
So I did the back and forth twice, watching the weather report, and finally they canceled at 10 a.m. I'm like, all right, I'm off the hook. What my plan was going to be was to drop her off, come here, load up the truck, go to the tailgate, just to bring the stuff for the tailgate, pack up at 3:30, drive back here, drop the truck off, get my car, and drive to Miller Place for the 6 o'clock wedding. So my entire day was going to be just driving all over the place and not go to the baseball game.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
All for the people.
I didn't want to disappoint the people.
So no complaining when you can't come.
I was talking with Zappa and Richie about it, like, because we're on this like betting group chat where we're like we text all day, and I'm like, hey, I might have to not do the tailgate even if they play, and they're like, just don't go. I'm like, I screenshot a post from Facebook last week of like, hey, we're tailgating Saturday, and people wrote like, this is gonna be my first one ever. I'm so excited. I can't wait. And I was like, I have to go.
Oh,
it's my job.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
Anyway, I got off the hook.
It all worked out.
So let me show you something that happened on Saturday. If you didn't catch this yesterday, Tacoma put up something. There is a
very intimate photo.
The Mets beat presented by Duncan. Duncan just got a free shout, even though I'm drinking Starbucks right here. So I guess I never even seen this before, but I saw it floating around the internet.
No.
The Mets MLBlist.com. I don't really know how you find this, but I'm sure Tacoma shares the link on his Twitter. So on Saturday against the Guardians was postponed due to the rain. The Mets found themselves with an unexpected block of free time.
Oh, I did see this.
Lindor went shopping and threw a pizza party for his family. Buck Showalter put in 8 hours of office work at Citi Field. How is there even 8 hours
what is
of
there to do?
I don't know. Probably go over analytics or something. Francisco Alvarez, he texted Brett Beatty and Mark Vientos and invited them over for lasagna.
I love it.
So he says it was a family recipe, but Beatty didn't believe that he was going to really make it from scratch. So he went there and watched him make it. And he said it was pretty good. He said it's more of a Venezuelan,
take on it.
Take on the recipe with noodles, ground beef, ham, cheese, and white sauce. when Beatty received the invitation, he first laughed, but he said it was really good. So it's really awesome to see these guys gelling.
Yes. And I mean, you assume
as long as they play.
Right. The baby Mets, as Lindor has called them. I mean, they've been playing together for years now. So it makes sense. But it's so great to see it clicking with the whole team, with the veterans. And also, I mean, it feels, I mean, this past week has felt so long, given that like a week ago we were sitting here talking about how this is the most boring team ever. And then they had the most exciting week. Honestly, I'm trying to think of another single week of Mets baseball that was as exciting as that one was.
Well, the whole stretch in 15.
I was just going to say September 2015 might have been it. But other than that, fact checkers, let me know. But that was all kickstarted by the baby Mets. So it's great to see that. And honestly, I remember when they called up Vientos, and it was literally the day after Verlander bombed in his first Citi Field outing. And I was like, this just seems unfair to like, you know, you're doing this literally to keep the interest of the fans. You're putting so much pressure on this kid of like, okay, you're why we're hoping people will keep watching and coming to the ballpark. Like no pressure, whatever. But like literally no fucking pressure because he went out that night, hit a home run. That was, I think it tied the game. I can't remember. There's been so many in the past week, but yeah. Love the baby Mets. Love lasagna. Love that for them.
Was it Garfield? Who loved lasagna?
Yes,
the cat?
Garfield.
Yeah. Anyway, so we gotta come up with something with Garfield for these guys, I guess. Who's Garfield? Alvarez? Alvarez. Garfield Alvarez. He would never even connect the dots on that one.
You'd be like, what is Garfield? What is that?
So speaking of connecting the dots, I don't even know if this really makes any sense, but how about Pete Alonso that's been humping everything lately?
This is my favorite thing.
I was working on this GIF on Saturday during the rain.
Oh my God, that's so
Saturday morning. You didn't see this yet?
No, I didn't. That's so funny.
So that's Pete doing his thing, and some people got confused and they're like, "Oh no, it's the Ultimate Warrior," when old wrestling thing when he shakes the.
I don't know.
Well, it's definitely not.
It's definitely not because he's been humping everything. And everyone.
And there's a long running chain of this. I don't know if you saw.
I saw the thread.
Let me try to find it. But Pete has been humping everyone and anything for like the whole year, dating back to last year when they clinched.
Yes.
They clinched their wild card spot, and he walks up for the team photo, and he's like humping somebody. So
I love it.
I was talking with someone yesterday, or maybe 2 days ago. I don't know who it was, but they were like, a lot of things happen in clubhouses that like sometimes leak out into the public, and then it just becomes a thing. So like it's been like a thing forever where it's like they call it rat tails, like guys hitting each other with you wet the end of a towel, certain things that like you probably wouldn't do on the field.
Right.
So maybe Pete just humps everything in the locker room, and now it's just kind of playing out in real life.
Now it's happening on the field. It can't
Crazy.
be contained. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's fun. And it's also what I find so funny is I feel like now the SNY cameras have been specifically trying to pan to Pete in the dugout when something good happens, almost to catch him humping something. I thought it would be something that they like stop showing or
we got
cut away.
Marsico. Am I saying it right? Marsico, whatever.
I have no
we
idea,
got
we need to know.
the booth being like hump camera 2. So he's like
so good.
So it's how he yells out. He puts that behind the scenes.
I love that.
They should put a piece of tape underneath the like how it's numbered. It's call it hump cam.
Hump cam.
Pete hump
Just
cam.
Pete at Pete's crotch.
So I don't know who One Shining Mets is on Twitter, but if you go over to One Shining Mets, they put together a thread of all the things that Pete's been doing. So clearly you've seen this one already. You know this, so you didn't blast your ears on. So that's from the extra innings home run 9-9 at Citi Field. You scroll down. This is the one I was saying from last year. This is during the team photo. Who's he humping there? Who is that?
I don't know.
Wish I could zoom in. Maybe I can. Is that Tommy Hunter?
Davis?
Might be Hunter.
I don't know. I can't really tell.
No, Davis was gone by then.
Oh yes, he was traded.
Okay, so that's that one. This is with the crew.
But they've been doing this after every win.
Well, now, of course.
Yeah.
So that's Lindor, Guillorme, McNeil, and Pete. This might be last year, though, because look at Lindor's hair, still black.
I don't know. I just know that they've been doing this regularly after wins.
So that's
even
by last year.
when they
Here's
were few
another
and far
one.
between.
Boom. After the grand
That was
salami.
like a surprise one.
And they're waiting for
Yeah.
it. Right?
They are. They're just waiting
Here's
to
another
receive
one.
it.
Bang, bang. That's a double. Oh, he left it in. What do they call that? Soaking? Is that what it's called? It's called, right?
Isn't soaking the thing that like Mormons do?
I think it's
get
Mormons
away
or
with it?
Hasidics. I don't know. I'll look it up.
I don't know. We should stop talking.
Why? That's not. No,
I know,
we're not
but
making fun of anything. It's a real
just
thing.
that we're going from humping to the next step.
But whatever. I mean, that's how we're all here, Julia. You're allowed to talk about sex. It's okay.
Flops the game. Flops the game.
I also love how all you hear is Gary saying flops the game.
He almost broke the railing. They have to put in extra support.
Imagine.
You know what would be crazy? You know how I wear that camera, that 360 camera?
Yeah.
If Pete has like hump cam.
This conversation is off the rails.
Flops the
It's
game.
called Hump Day, Julia. You told
I
me.
did. I said name this episode Happy Hump Day.
Okay, so this is your fault.
That's fine. It's
Okay,
just
we got
funny.
one more.
And the Mets have now
Oh,
won
they all
victory.
did it.
Yes.
And the Mets have
I didn't
now
know
won
that.
victory.
They've all been
And the
doing
Mets have now won
They call
when
that
they win.
oh wait, I didn't show it though. Hold on a second. This is the last one where they all
victory.
do it.
And the Mets have now won victory.
They call that, what do they call that?
I don't.
I don't know, they call it like something like this. Right?
Fact checkers, let us know what they
What is
call
that? That's called something too. Touch tips or something. I don't know.
I can't. You just hear Lizzie laughing from the other room.
I think that's what it's called.
Oh my god.
Anyway, let me look up soaking really quick.
To my knowledge, soaking is when it's just inserted, but there's no humping.
Okay,
Because the
hold on.
humping is what takes it too far. But I could be thinking of something else.
Reportedly used by some members of the church. Okay. You know, remember, I think they used to have commercials on TV, the Church of Latter-day
About
Saints.
Oh, okay. Yes.
No,
Say
not
about
soaking. They didn't talk about soaking on TV. Okay, so soaking, this is from Wikipedia. It is a sexual practice, also known as marinating or floating.
I need to go.
You don't feel uncomfortable, right?
No,
Okay.
It's just like if you're tuning in, you should know at this point we barely talk about the Mets, but whoever tuned
We
in.
are talking about the Mets. We're talking about Pete Alonso right now.
It's so true.
Okay, so
That's
let me
fine.
just get through this
We've
sentence.
had his mother on this show. This feels wrong.
Okay, soaking, also known as marinating or floating, is a sexual practice of inserting the penis into the vagina, but not subsequently thrusting, reportedly
Yes, there's
used
no
by some
humping.
members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Yeah, it's
You just wait.
and apparently I've heard this. I don't know if this is real, but sometimes they'll have people who do this will
Uh-huh.
have somebody like under the bed who moves it because it's still not technically.
Do you watch that Pete Davidson show yet? Did I talk
No.
to you about that?
No, I don't think so. But
So
I would. I love Pete Davidson.
I was watching something on Peacock recently, which I think is like the NBC app or something, right?
Uh-huh.
So Pete Davidson has a show now called like Bump Kiss or something like that.
Okay.
And I was watching something else and then it randomly auto played this
Mhm.
show. And there's a scene like that.
Great.
You gotta, it's actually really funny. I got through like the first few episodes.
Okay.
And some of it was filmed in Bayside actually.
oh my god.
There's a Burger King in Bayside.
Oh, well, he's a New York guy. That makes sense.
Yeah, but I think it's all supposed to be like, he's a Staten Island guy.
Yeah.
Bump
Not
Kiss.
really New York. No. I'm
So I
not
don't know.
New
In
York.
like episode 1, he's in the parking lot of a fast food restaurant, and I could clearly tell it's the Burger King off of Cross Island in Bayside on Northern
Uh-huh.
Boulevard. Anyway,
What
that's
a
a story.
transition.
Bump Kiss. People are saying it's funny, and you know what? We are getting a ton of comments here.
Well, how could you not when you start talking about soaking
got-
on a Mets podcast?
Okay, so we're talking about the tip thing. Amish country Mets fan on Facebook says touching swords.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
God.
what he called that. Araya says, "Are you sure there's no beer in that Starbucks cup?"
That's a very fair question.
Robert Correa says we have turned the corner. Robert also says viewer discretion is
Oh
advised.
my god, I hope Jerry Seinfeld isn't watching.
I hope he is. Oh yeah, the first scene in Bupkis is actually pretty crazy. So you should watch that show.
Okay.
Anyway, back to the Mets for a second. So we're talking about Pete Alonso humping everything in sight. He hit 18 home runs already. Whatever he's doing, just let him continue
Let
to do
him
it.
go. Who cares?
The chains are off.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Right.
Pete's cursing
Clearly.
on the mic on SNY. Again, this is like a week old now.
Fucking loved that. So good.
So did the majority of the people.
Right.
But then you got like Mets Police and Jerry Seinfeld and Buck Showalter.
For
And
those who don't know about the Jerry Seinfeld thing, it wasn't like a public thing that he really said. It was Jeff McNeil had made an Instagram
I'll pull it up
post.
here.
Yeah, he made an Instagram post, not just like a "Let's Go Mets" kind of thing,
Like a hype video.
right?
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And Jerry Seinfeld commented,
And the Mets have now won victory.
something to the degree of like, can we take a vote on the F thing? Not a huge fan, in like the LFGM. And it's like,
Yeah, I got it here. So
shut
yeah.
up, Jerry.
Jeff wrote New York, let's keep rolling, LGM. Mets replied LGM with the squirrel.
Uh-huh.
And then Jerry wrote, can we vote on the F? Not a giant fan. That did get 59 likes.
Well,
So-
which is saying something when you're Jerry fucking Seinfeld commenting on a Mets post and you only get 59 likes. It's probably not a popular opinion.
It's not. And I kind of highlighted last week with Mets Police, and he actually said thank you because he got a bunch of followers because he posted something, and I wrote and I wasn't even talking shit on him. Like,
Right.
everyone's entitled to their opinion. I'm sure a lot of people say, that's not appropriate. My kid was there. I don't want them hearing the F-bomb, whatever. That's fine. I get it. I have a kid.
But who cares?
You're going to hear it anyway. There's so much crazy shit going on in the world right now that these kids are susceptible of seeing, or is that even the right word?
Yes.
Or able to consume.
Right.
That someone saying LFGM, but actually saying let's fucking go Mets is not the end of the world. They're going to see and read way worse shit.
Truly, probably before they turn 10. But, I could really get on my soapbox about this if I wanted to. But it's just like there's two things there. One, I'm in the camp of this is a harmless, fun thing that if it gets the players fired up and it helps them play well, who fucking cares? We all just want to see them win. Whereas you'll have people make that same argument when you have people on the team who have been arrested for domestic violence or, have broken some sort of law, have DUIs, whatever. Like, oh, well, if it helps the team win, it doesn't matter to me what they do off the field. Why is that a thing? But because he's saying the word fuck into a microphone, all of a sudden, that's where we draw the moral line of, oh, well, that's just ruins the day. Who cares? If him saying fucking and let's fucking go Mets, if that gets them fired up, if that gets them playing well, who fucking cares? That's one. Two, also just like, and this is just me being me, but we're going to talk about the things that like, oh, you don't want children hearing that, whatever. Like, can you stop calling people fat in front of your children? Can you stop pointing out the parts of your body you don't like in front of your children? Because I promise you that's doing so much more damage to your children than saying the word fuck. And I'll just leave that there.
Works with me. So, like Ozuna's still on the team.
Exactly.
Like, there's a lot of, like, it's, it is what it
like,
is.
where do we draw the line of, like, what's okay if it's not morally like, just stop.
So
Buck is fine.
yesterday, Buck was on with the Michael K show. I don't know if this is like a weekly thing that he does with them. I didn't realize that ESPN really did anything with the Mets. I don't listen to the show. I'm more of a afternoon drive with Carton and Roberts.
Right.
But Buck was on yesterday, and he kind of brought it up for Michael K. Like, Michael K said, like, I wasn't going to even bring this up.
Yeah.
So let me play this really quick. If you haven't heard it yet, I'll scroll towards like the middle.
I get to hear, when I DH him or whatever, I just tell him things he says in the dugout, and some things he shouldn't say outside the dugout here and there. So that's a story for another day, even though I'm sure it will be here shortly. But he's just, he's infectious. He told me in the spring, okay, I've mapped this out, 6 DH days. I go, what? He goes, I said, yeah, 1 a month. And now, when I DH him or whatever, I just tell him you're DHing more, because if you let him get in the conversation, he loves being on a baseball field and being there for his team. And, what he did after a good year last year, a great year, he's went out and worked the off season to get even better. He's moving better than I've ever seen him physically.
I know you brought it up. I wasn't going to because it's not really your thing.
No,
but
yes, you were.
no,
Mike.
I was not.
no,
Don and Peter, was I going to bring it up?
He actually said to us, let's not bring it up.
I've already brought it up, so let's move
Yeah,
on.
let's get
It's been taken care of.
Did it? Because you're an old school guy. I mean, I know you're very hip and everything. Did it bother you when Pete cursed on the field?
Of course it did. So did his mother. You know, hey, I learned my lesson a long time ago. My mother could read lips, and boy, that Sunday drive home after a day game, when I would always call her and put the phone on speaker and let her go, she would tell me, and I always felt horrible. And so, yeah, it's not a good idea, and something that I don't think you'll see happen.
So that's basically it. I know that dragged out a little bit because he was talking about DHing in there as well. But so basically, Buck says he wasn't happy about it. Pete's mom wasn't happy about it. But, life goes on. It sounds like to me that will be the one and only time that this happens. Pete looked almost like nervous before he said it.
He knew he was going to say it.
He's like, I'm going to say this. I know I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to fucking say it anyway. But he also started with thank you guys so much for coming out. Those post-game interviews with Gelbs, whoever's filling them for Gelbs, also not broadcast, but
it's over
airs into the ballpark. So when you're there, you could listen, and so on and so forth. So he's basically talking directly to the fans that were there. Thank you so much. We basically suck right now, but thank you for coming out.
Also, this is where I feel like Pete gets it, and he's an important person to have on your team and within your organization, is because I think he was very aware of the fact that fans had kind of checked out. They were a boring, not fun team to watch. I'm sure they were a not fun team to, play on the field and whatever, come home with those results every day. But I think he knew, he's like, I have the chance right now to really just fire everybody up. And this win was great, but if we come out and lose tomorrow, whatever, but here's a chance to just show we're fired up. And he took it. And that's a great thing. And I don't know why. I understand Buck's in charge of the team. He's an old school guy. And if whatever, he's going to say his piece, and that's fine. It sounds like he spoke with Pete and it's not going to happen again.
Right.
But I think it really did fire up the fan base after that game.
Well, you know what it is too? People are asking, well, why don't you make LFGM merch? Look at this studio. There is more than one thing in here that says LFGM. You got the LFGM wood sign here that someone mailed out. These stickers here that say LFGM. This thing says LFGM 2023, the cardboard, which I'm not cardboard, the chalkboard. But it's not going to ever, there's no licensed LFGM stuff.
Right.
So we understand what it means. I told Amelia it means freaking. If she hears him say fuck at the ballpark, I'm not going to lose my mind about it. But you could tell your kid whatever you want to tell them. But as far as MLB and the Mets are concerned, there will be no officially licensed LFGM merch. You will see some made from other websites that don't pay a royalty to the league, and they kind of do whatever they want, kind of like what the 7 line was before the license 10 years ago now, which is insane. It's been that long. Or 9. This is the 10th season, 9 years.
Crazy.
So it is what it is. Let me show you something, which I don't know if people could actually see this when you go to our Instagram account.
Okay.
But these are our numbers as far as views are concerned. So on average, on our reels, we're doing, about 25, 30,000 views. So this showing off this thing got 40, the home run apple light up got 40.5 thousand views.
Okay.
Which is, a lot for us.
Right.
The recap from the game the other day got 39,000. The Pete cursing got 137,000 likes. Views. I'm talking about views. That's crazy.
Because people love to hear someone say fuck on TV.
Which means how immature are we as a society?
But also
Pete cursed.
That means how prude are we as a society that this is a big deal. Who cares? Whatever. I'm all for it. I understand. But you know what? It is also a thing that if it happened all the time, it would lose its meaning. So I think it was.
So that's one and done.
Right. Maybe if they win the World Series again.
This is also the same guy that during spring training a couple of years ago was asked about can you envision what it's going to be? No, actually, they didn't ask him about can you envision. He brought up on his own saying he wants to be drunk as hell on a parade float.
Yeah.
Talking about a hopeful World Series parade.
Right.
So Pete, man, if and when
Pete's just fun.
the Mets do win it all, I am nervous for.
We need to have a assigned security guard to just follow Pete around and make sure he gets home okay.
What do they call that? A chastity belt? What do they call that metal thing that is that what it's called? Chastity belt?
I don't.
It's like a metal device, so like you can't have sex.
Yeah, I was gonna say chastity has something to do with not having sex.
Right. We're gonna have to.
Sex again.
Pete's gonna be humping so much if the Mets win it all.
I'm sure his wife will be with him.
I wonder what she thinks about all the humping.
Listen, if she's cool, she probably finds it hysterical, which it is.
Look at this photo.
Listen.
Oh my God! Don't look at that photo.
Did you just Google this?
I googled
Big
chastity
mistake.
belts,
Big mistake.
but there's some crazy shit on here. I thought it was like a medieval thing, like metal. Yeah, like I thought it was like this, like a metal belt. You never saw it before?
No, it's still just funny to look at.
Yeah, you put locks on the sides. I think it's like this says decorative.
Oh my God.
Decorative chastity belt, $558.
Maybe if they win it all, you can make him a 7-line.
There is some crazy shit on here, which I don't feel comfortable showing you.
No, please don't.
Yeah, so that is what it is. We were all over the freaking board. This is honestly, we didn't go into this being like we're gonna have the most non-PG show ever, but this probably is up there.
This needs like a not safe for work warning.
Well, we already have that actually. Yeah, I guess on like iTunes, if you're gonna even curse at all, you have to put it in as like explicit.
Okay. Well,
So otherwise,
just
you
give
really
our
gotta like
YouTube friends
watch your mouth.
Yeah.
Dirty mouth. We gotta sit here next week with soap.
My mother used to do that. Did your mom actually used to do that? My mom would wash my mouth out with soap.
I didn't really ever get
Miserable.
in trouble. I feel like I was pretty
Only when
good.
I was really little, and then because I was the third of 3 kids, and we were Mets,
All
Jets,
boys,
Knicks,
right?
Islanders fans.
So you definitely heard some F-bombs in your house.
By the time I was like 3rd grade, everyone had given up. I remember being in 4th grade and trying to give up cursing for Lent, and I couldn't do it.
We yeah, something
Sorry,
with
Mom
something
and
with well, you know what's crazy? Like I mentioned, like, have you seen this movie? And like I hope you've seen Christmas Story.
Right.
You've seen
I've seen parts of it. I've not seen the
Oh
whole
my
thing
God.
through. But I know the premise. I know about
all right.
it.
Well, after he whatever, he has to put soap in his mouth. We
Yeah.
could do something similar. Anyway, keeping up with the Pete theme. I don't know if you're available for this, but we're gonna be heading out to the Paramount.
What day is it?
It is on Monday, June 12th. The Mets are off. The next day is the Subway Series.
Oh, what time?
7:30 p.m. at the Paramount in Huntington.
I could definitely
So-
try.
This is the Pete Alonso Night of Comedy with special guests, hosted by Craig Carton and Evan Roberts of The Fan. All the proceeds go to the Alonso Foundation, which I was talking with the foundation, like asking what what the funds are for. Because remember they started like Homers for Heroes.
Yes.
So I guess that pivoted more towards let me look it up because I don't want to be wrong about this. Did I write it here? I didn't. But this is on our Instagram account. If you want to check it out, there's a little graphic there and also the link. It's on alonsofoundation.org. There are seats available. Don't look at my
I'm
screen
not.
because some crazy shit's on there.
You're gonna have to clear your search history.
Well, no, chastity belt's not a bad thing to look up.
But still.
Yeah, it's not good. Don't if I was you, do not Google chastity belt.
Everyone is immediately Googling chastity belt. I'll probably do it later just to see.
You know what's pretty crazy? The YouTube somehow, the YouTube, when you upload your shows, it knows what to like break it up into segments by what you're talking about, and it actually labels it. Like it's
Oh, that's cool.
YouTube's getting like very
really
smart.
advanced.
Yeah.
Almost kind of scary.
So like when we were talking about the tailgate last week, it broke that up and says the 7-Line Army, whatever. You click it like chapters. But I didn't have to do it.
This is the chapters for this show are gonna be scary. Humping.
Less things for me to do, the better.
chastity belts.
So they morphed the foundation into 3 main pillars: supporting youth causes, veteran welfare, and animal rescue. So there's
Oh.
3 main pillars now of the Alonso Foundation, and those are them.
Oh my God, that's wonderful.
Yeah. So youth causes, veterans welfare, and animal rescue. So how could you not feel
gotta go.
some sort of connection to
For
any of those things,
sure.
or at least a sense of wanting to help out? So all the proceeds from this event do go to the Alonso Foundation. Like I said, June 12th, 7:30 p.m. at the Paramount in Huntington. Great venue. And shout out to Evan Roberts and Craig Carton from The Fan for helping spearhead this with the Alonso Foundation. Head on over to alonsofoundation.org to pick up tickets. I will for sure be there. So will Kelly, and I guess sounds like Julia will as well.
Yeah, I might just have to get to work a little early for the evening so I can get out there. But
All right, yeah. I mean,
I'm gonna
it's,
go.
So as I'm going to be 100% transparent here.
Mhm.
As I tweet that out, I got hit up by Jeff McNeil's agent
Oh, really?
because Jeff McNeil's also having an event. So I was like, yeah, I'll help you share that.
Awesome. What's Jeff doing?
So his is at Topgolf.
Oh my God!
Right
I
here.
heard about this. This is so fun. When
it's
is it?
very expensive,
That's fine.
but golf is an expensive sport.
Right.
So
Top Golf in and of itself is not always super cheap because it comes with all the food.
this
and
is
the
very
drinks
expensive, but
but it's for a good cause.
it's for a great cause. So Jeff's, if you go here, I'll pause this for a second and let me pop on his Instagram here. So let me share this as well for Jeff. Shout out to them for reaching out. I'm always happy to help out. Let's get the sound up here. Oh, not that loud.
Oh.
Let me close this so it starts from the beginning.
Everyone, Jeff McNeil here from the New York Mets, and I'm excited to announce my Drive for Good event taking place at Holtzville Topgolf on June 15th. The goal of this event is to help raise money for the Met PGA Foundation and additionally to help support our veterans and the underserved youth. Join me and my teammates for a great night at Topgolf. Please visit driveforgood.org for more information. I hope to see you there, and let's go Mets.
So I did look this up. It is very expensive, and I'm not trying to say that because I want people to not go.
Right.
But have you been there yet?
Yeah.
So you rent out each bay.
Mhm.
So let me pull this up here. What did he say? Drive for Good. Drive for
sounds like that would
What's up, everyone?
drive.
correct.
Where is it? Drive for Good. It's like thousands of dollars.
to rent out a bay.
Yeah, but you split it with
Right.
people,
And a bay fits like somewhere like I think
it's 4 max.
really only 4?
4 people max, so it ends up being expensive. What is that? $625 each. But the deal with it is it's dinner included, open bar included.
Oh, open bar.
If you spend a certain amount of money, Jeff actually golfs with you,
That's sick.
and you also get instruction from golfers, like PGA golfers. So if you're into golf
That's a pretty good
and you're into the
deal.
Mets
and the Mets are going to be there. That's pretty
right,
sick.
right. But that's a crazy week for them because last year when they had that same event for Pete Alonso at the Paramount, like the whole team
They
was
were
there.
all there. Yeah.
Buck was there.
And
A
I'm
lot of
sure
the
they'd
players
all
were there.
Support. Yeah.
It's tough though because think of this: Monday night. I mean, they're playing over the weekend.
Mhm.
Monday night's Pete's event.
Right.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Subway Series at Citi Field. Thursday night's Jeff McNeil's event. So it's 4 straight days.
Yeah. But how often do they get 2 days off in a week? So.
Right. I mean,
And it's
I think it's gonna be great. It's just very expensive.
And Pete's is like a nighttime thing, so they have the whole day. What time does Jeff McNeil's event start?
I don't remember. I'm assuming it's probably about the same.
Okay. Well, super fun. If I can find
Here we go.
4 friends
Let me pull this up.
willing to spend that kind of money. Top golf is fun too. And I say this as somebody who loathes mini golf because I'm just
Well, this
so
is nothing
bad.
like that.
It's but when you don't like golf at all, you assume it's kind of the same thing. It's just like, fake golf. I'm not good at this either, but I find it more fun.
So
than
it's
mini golf.
6:30 to 10 o'clock in Holtzville. I did reach out to the organizers and I'm like, hey, maybe there could be an option for people who don't want to golf, but they want to just pay for the dinner and open bar.
Uh-huh.
Or maybe there's a way that you could like raffle something off. You know what I mean? Get some people in
Yeah.
there that might just be big Mets fans, but don't necessarily.
Because they have like a big indoor section too. It's like
Yeah, but I
pretty
don't think
big
they're
in there.
closing out the entire place. I don't know. So when you scroll down, the All-Star is $25,000.
Well,
So that gets you 2 bays for 4 guests each. Jeff McNeil and another Met player will golf with you at your bays. 1 veteran or junior golfer from the Met PGA Foundation, food, open bar, a golfer gift bag, instruction from a PGA professional, and 1 signed Jeff McNeil jersey.
That's sick.
So that's a lot of money, but like you said, you split it with 8 people on that one, and you get your foot in the door there. So we'll see if there's going to be any other kind of offers that we could share your way if you feel like going, because great cause.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So like we said, next Wednesday at Citi Field, we will be tailgating. I don't have the blog post up yet, but you know where we're going to be at in the Marina lot. If you don't know by now, go to any of the other blog posts that are up on our site for tailgating, and we'll be in the exact same spot. So that is the Howie Rose bobblehead night. And I'm sure I could pull up a photo here. I did get to see it at the What's New event. So let me just search here really quick. Julia, talk to the people for a second.
God, I hate when you do this to me. Well, I'm not going to lie. I was thinking about the soaking conversation. I don't want to go. I was just your Google search history and chastity. I was thinking, what could that possibly be? But I don't.
All right,
did you
here we
find
go.
any
Yeah, we're good. So here's the Howie Rose talking bobblehead. There's a little button there between his feet on the bottom of the base. You hit the button. He says, "Put it in the books," and it's gorgeous. So we will be giving away 2 of those for free. All you have to do to be involved is retweet this post on Twitter, on the 7 Lines Twitter. Whether you're seeing this retweeted somewhere else. Maybe Julia tweeted it, or I tweeted it, or Orange and Blue Thing tweeted it. Go to the Seven Lines account, click retweet, and that's how you're in the running. And next week we will select the winners. If you're watching on YouTube or you're watching on Facebook, we obviously appreciate your views as well. Or if you're listening afterwards as a podcast, go to the Seven Lines Twitter account, retweet, and get involved. We are now going to announce the winners of the Lindor grass growing bobblehead.
Which this is like a big deal now because
Very big deal.
a lot of people who were planning on going on Saturday couldn't go Sunday and missed out on getting one. So
yes,
this is a second chance.
I'm not a big, I understand the majority of it's shtick. I've met him in person and he's actually, a very nice guy. Frank the Tank. He put up a video of himself doing the dirt and stuff. I didn't watch it yet.
That might actually
so
be
I don't know
funny.
if this is actually, it's not appropriate to put on because I have no idea what he said. But I saw it making the rounds yesterday of him. Like, remember we talked about how many people are going to really plant the dirt, and he was doing it and like cursing the entire time. So it is what it is. Maybe you're just going to keep it on your desk like this and not have the grass grow, which is still cool.
That's when his shtick is appropriate because I would feel the same way if somebody
Well, we already said you
sent me home with gardening to do.
Well, you have to go buy the dirt.
Ridiculous.
Because I guess you need a certain amount of soil. You can't just go get like a handful of dirt from your lawn. Or unless you dug it up. I don't know.
Silly.
I don't know. Anyway, so the winners for the Lindor bobblehead are Joan Pfister at JP Pfister underscore 16 and Rich Rogers at Monkey 607. I will send you a DM. And finally, I got back to the woman, Caitlin.
Yes.
Caitlin Larkin, I think it is.
I guess.
I've
hope
seen her.
You know.
It's not even written down, but now that name is in my brain. Because
She called you out.
I was trying to figure out how did I miss that. I took care of it. I DM'd her.
Very good.
She's settled. I think we're all settled now.
Okay.
And if you're not.
Again, if you have not got what you've been promised by Darren, tweet me.
Yeah, because then she
attention.
screenshots and she's like, can you take care of that?
Darren.
I used to do that a lot with Lizzie because people would email or they bombard every inbox we have asking for questions about orders. I don't know why they don't just email us.
Yeah.
Because when you order something off the site, you get an email confirmation. You don't get a direct message confirmation.
But sometimes those are from like non-reply.
I guess.
Email addresses.
But someone will be like, hey, I'm trying to track down whatever. Where do I find this info? Just go to the site or email us. You already ordered something.
Maybe you should include in your like automated email, like if you have any questions about your order, please respond to this email.
People don't read.
Well,
you know how many people I had to tell?
Put
like
that at the top.
Like Shoemaker couldn't make the game on Saturday. You couldn't make the game on Saturday. Did you use your ticket?
I gave it to Lucho.
Good. If you didn't give it to someone, or let's say you were like, I'm going to just give this away or eat it, that would have been fine because if you didn't have your ticket scanned, you got a free game.
Oh.
But people didn't read the email. I emailed everybody.
That's okay. I feel bad when those seats in the front.
No, yeah, they get used.
Yeah.
But a lot of people didn't read the email or see the post from the Mets on Saturday.
Right.
If you had a ticket for Saturday's game and you couldn't make the makeup on Sunday, they're not going to like mail you the bobblehead, but you will get a voucher for equal value to another game.
Huh.
So a lot of people that were like going to just give it away for free to some stranger because they didn't want to like have it go to waste, could have just done nothing with it and go to a free game. So that's the story.
Oops.
If you want to go to a game that's not going to be free, go to TickPick. And what can they get on TickPick, Julia?
Oh, you can get anything you want on TickPick. I wonder if
no chastity belts.
No chastity belts. You can get tickets to anything you want on TickPick. Also, like a very at-risk name for when you Google something terribly wrong could come up. But Taylor Swift concert is this weekend, people. The next time you see me, I will be a changed woman.
Did she save somebody's life?
What?
I saw something on the news this morning. It said like she saved someone's life.
I mean, mine.
No, like for real.
No, I don't. Maybe.
Let me look it up.
It's possible, but
if I know any kind of Taylor Swift news before you,
I don't know. I can't imagine this is legitimate news. It's probably one of your freaking Google searches again that just you see what you want to see. But yes, the Taylor Swift concert is this weekend. Prices are kind of going down. They are now only like $1,900 as opposed to like $2,200, $2,500, something, whatever. Anyway, you can get more than just Taylor Swift on TickPick. I'm sure, like I know lots of comedy shows are available on TickPick. I don't know if stuff for Pete's show would be available on TickPick, but possibly. So comedy shows, concerts, Obviously Mets games, any other baseball game, any other sporting event, go to TickPick. They have the best deals because there are no hidden taxes or fees. The price you see is the price you get. And if you use our code OABT, you can get $10 off any order over $99 in the app if you are a first-time user. I also highly recommend following them on Twitter because they do giveaways all the time. And also will give you special promo codes to get discounts randomly. So definitely follow them on Twitter, follow them on Instagram, and only get your tickets on TickPick because they are the best.
So we just talked about next week at Citi Field on Wednesday is the Harry Rose bobblehead giveaway. You can get in the door for $5
That's crazy.
on TickPick.
You can get that
No
bobblehead
fees.
for $5. Imagine
You know,
what it's going to go
you go
for.
to like their competitors and you see the $5 all-in price on like I don't even want to name drop them because
Right.
why give them the shine, because obviously TickPick's the best.
Right.
But if you're going to use the other third-party website,
Mhm.
this $5 ticket would be like $15 or $10, whatever
Right.
it is with the fees. This $5 is really $5.
It's literally 2 clicks and it's in your ballpark.
And you can go there and
That's
get the bobblehead. Not that I'm advocating for people to sell it, but if you wanted to,
it. Yeah, you can make a
you
profit.
go in, get the Howie bobble, watch the game, and then make like $60.
Yeah. Get
which
that
is
thing signed, even
insane.
better.
all right, that would be a little bit more difficult. But so I looked it up. Taylor Swift. Did you give the promo code?
I did.
OABT. There you go.
Mhm.
Taylor Swift is literally saving lives. The American Heart Association just announced
Oh, yes. Okay.
this track as the perfect song to perform CPR to. I think this is a little bit of a stretch.
The Man.
The Man?
That's the name of the song.
Okay.
Is The Man.
But like, why? Is like a certain beat that
Yeah.
you're supposed to...
There needs to be a certain beats per minute in order to be able to, like, you know how, have you ever seen the Office episode?
It has a tempo of 110 beats per
Yeah.
minute, making it the perfect song for hands-only CPR. Look at that. Do you think she did that on purpose?
No. Definitely not. That song is like 3 or 4 years old. And
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So someone just realized. Well,
somebody
this
just
is
realized.
this news story is from May 22nd, which is 2 days
Yeah.
ago.
The
Look
American
at that.
Heart Association is taking advantage of the Eras Tour popularity.
Listen,
And-
for a guy of my advanced age, I know a good amount of stuff.
Okay.
I just taught you something.
I knew that, but that wasn't her saving someone's life. That was just I did read that though, but yeah. Did you ever see the Office episode when they're learning CPR?
I think so.
Oh, it's so good. And it's
Kelly and I
to stay
during the
alive.
pandemic were trying to like. I've never watched any episodes of The Office, and I
Really?
started during the
I
pandemic.
had only started within like the last 5 years or so too, but oh my god,
Yeah.
that scene is so funny.
I think it's one of those shows that you don't. It's kind of like Seinfeld. You don't have to pick it up. You don't have to like watch it in
No.
order. You can pick it up wherever, as long as you kind of know the premise of who
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
Like he's the boss and whatever.
Agreed.
It was weird though. There was a season where they had like it was like an hour episode, and I feel like they dragged.
I didn't.
They-
The Office?
Yeah, I looked it up. Like
Oh.
when you watch it on like whatever Hulu, whatever, wherever you watch your replays, it was weird because it was almost like a TV show. I think it's like 22 minutes with
Yeah.
commercial or whatever. It was like that's like the perfect amount of time.
I was gonna say, I imagine a show like that would drag if it
Yeah, it
was
was
any
like
longer.
45, and I was like, this is
It's
like
supposed to be like quick humor.
too much.
Yeah.
too long.
Whatever.
Anyway, Baltimore. Speaking of quick, Baltimore sold out super quick.
Yeah.
So we put it up last Tuesday. They're already gone.
Awesome.
And unfortunately, I didn't book my hotel room in time, and the block is sold out.
No.
Yeah.
You got asked out of the block.
So the block that I organized, I can't even be a part of. So I don't know what I'm gonna do.
That's actually really funny.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not funny. Are you going to that?
No, I can't.
Okay.
I can't take any more time off work for that.
Yeah, no, we got that thing Friday night, which you know
Yeah.
about. So yeah, we got to be there on Friday for Friday night
Is
and Saturday
Kelly's
night.
going?
Yeah, yeah,
Is
yeah.
Amelia going?
No.
Okay.
But I
You still need.
I guess I'm gonna have to pay like double to stay
I was
somewhere
gonna
else.
say, does anyone want Darren to sleep on their floor? But no, Kelly.
Like,
can
hey
sleep on the
guys,
floor.
here's this discount. I
Yeah.
can't get the discount, but hopefully you did. Yeah, that's the story.
That's
And
really funny.
it's not funny. And Boston, there's like 50 tickets left, which we're hoping those go pretty quickly because if you've seen, those tickets are sold on a different website. Remember I was
Yes.
telling you about that?
Mhm.
So we haven't done that process yet. And I want to give us as much time as possible to like
Right.
make sure we get it done because
Verification.
this is it's almost like doing our first outing because we've
Yeah.
never done
This way.
this way before. So
Mhm.
if you're looking to go to Boston, pick up tickets while supplies last. There's only like 50 left. Wow, we already hit like an hour here.
Really?
Yeah, we're pretty much
damn.
not that it matters, but that's the story. Let us know where you're watching from.
Oh
We're-
God,
we're-
my grandma called. She might have heard me talking shit before.
No
I
way.
have a
Does she watch the
voicemail from
show?
grandma. I don't know. I have a voicemail from her. She might be. Oh no, we're playing Rummy Cube tonight. She's probably making sure that I'm coming to Rummy Cube. That's it. Anyway, go on with what you were doing.
No, I'm just reading some comments.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? I was gonna say, like, let's do the whole song and dance. Let us know where you're watching from. It doesn't really matter at this point because the show's over. Share the show, get involved, be involved in the giveaway for next week, which it's this week, but the announcement's next week.
Yes.
So you have until next Tuesday, I think, is when we're gonna do the show.
Yes,
probably.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Oh no, wait. Are you sure? Because Monday's Memorial Day.
Monday's Memorial Day. Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are
Tuesday's
you
fine.
coming over on 4th of July?
I'm gonna be in Belize.
Okay. So what I think I'm gonna do is, I just decided this like yesterday.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be there until the 6th, which is that I think Thursday.
So July 4th, July 3rd is when we're gonna have people over. July
Right.
4th is actual 4th of July. When are you coming back?
The 6th, but like late at night.
So since I'm gonna have to have a fill-in that week anyway, which would
Mhm.
probably be in Dart if he's down.
Right.
What do you think of us doing it at the house?
I think that's dangerous. I say go with God. Have a dump button and just be very.
Well, if we don't have a dump button today, we don't need one.
I don't know. That's a different.
Also, how
breed.
many people are going to be like at their computer to watch live on 4th of July?
I think
Probably
the real
not
problem
smart.
is I don't think many people are going to.
So maybe we'll do the show on that Friday, the 5th, July 5th.
That's
I'll
fine.
see if the
Andrew,
general
you're
can
up.
make it.
Take your plaque off the wall, put it back on the desk. Does
And-
everyone see this? The general looms behind me every show.
Hopefully the neighbor doesn't call again.
You said they moved, right?
Yeah, but like
Good riddance.
they moved, but like they sold the house to like their son or something. So
Oh.
like he lives there now.
Crap.
But yeah, I mean that was my fault. I mean, I'm glad I
That wasn't your fault.
it was definitely my fault.
It's midnight. Can you lower your music? Thank you.
I'm never gonna get rid of this voicemail.
Midnight on the Saturday of 4th of July weekend, and we were playing "All I Want for Christmas Is You" by Mariah Carey.
It was 12:04 a.m. and I remember I'm sitting on my steps.
It's not like it was vulgar. It's not like we said the F word.
I'm sitting on my steps. I'm like, fuck it. I'm looking at the phone. And I'm like, turn it up. And then the next day I was like, maybe I shouldn't have done that because people did have to go to work.
We were antagonizing. We made it louder.
Well, yeah, you know, it's like it's.
Don't poo-poo on someone's good time. It was a Saturday. No one was going to work the next day.
And we don't have like full blown like DJ booth speakers. It
No.
was like a little Bluetooth.
It was a Bluetooth speaker. And listen, if you want to be like, listen, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm a nurse. I'm working in an early shift next morning. Of course, we would have been quiet.
Yeah.
But you're just being obnoxious and whatever.
Well,
I'm acting
at
now.
that point when I know like I was being a bad neighbor, like once I know like that you're mad, I kind of just I
Make
just
it worse.
yeah. Turn it up.
Whatever. But it's also like, as their neighbor, they know you don't do this often.
No,
so
never.
like, calm the fuck down.
It was like our first real party after COVID
Yeah.
too. Like the ones
Chill.
before that we had people over, but it was like kind of tame.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the Mets tonight. Senga Stroman. You know, hopefully the Mets get back on the winning track. Last night they
Yes.
obviously got banged around a little bit. Hit the Pete event. Go to AlonsoFoundation.com, I believe it is. I want to make sure I say that right. Maybe it's .org. And also Jeff McNeil's event.
Yes.
Pick up tickets for that if you want to spring and have a good night of golf. AlonsoFoundation.org. And Jeff's, I also said as well. So shout out to those guys. You know, it's great when players have foundations and try to give back when they can. And especially
sure.
on a crazy week like that, they could have easily been like, you know what?
Let's sleep.
Let's take the night off and
Yeah.
not do anything work or baseball related.
Right.
So, you know, props to them. So that's it. See you guys next week. Next Wednesday night, we'll be tailgating, obviously. That weekend after that's the Hall of Fame weekend on June 3rd at 4:10.
I'm just flying.
The Mets are inducting Howie, Gary, Leiter, and Hojo. Let's just for shits and giggles see what those are on TickPick right
Sure.
now while we're here.
Back to TickPick.
What's the date? June 3rd. Wow, $20.
Damn.
That's actually sad.
But
Yeah, I feel like the Mets haven't been promoting this that much.
I don't either. I feel like we promote it more than the Mets have. I feel like
I forgot about it till I think maybe last night I came
Yeah.
across something.
We've talked about it more than I've seen them talk about it.
A lot of tickets. I mean, last year I feel like the biggest draw of the year was like Old Timers Day.
Yeah.
I thought there would be a lot more people showing up for this. So Howie, Gary, Leiter, and Hojo all going into the Mets Hall of Fame. Did we find out who's going to be the MC yet?
I did see, but they were definitely talking about it, but I don't know who they said was doing it. But they did announce it. If fact checkers, if you know,
Let's help blow this. I mean,
Let me
I mean,
know.
it's weird saying because when I can't go to something and I try to be like, let's go, we got to hit the fans out there. Like
Yeah.
if I can't make it either, I almost look like a fraud.
right?
But I can't make it that day.
Yeah.
But I mean, clearly for what's going on, I would hope that the ballpark would be packed. So
Yeah.
shout out to the Mets. Hopefully they push on a little bit more over the next week. and get a nice strong showing out there. And that's it.
Yeah.
See you guys next week. I don't know if we're going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. We'll figure it out. Tuesday next week.
Tuesday.
And then back on the winning track, hopefully tonight.
Yep.
Let's go Mets. See you guys soon. Share the show, win some stuff, and tell your friends to not curse. And definitely don't Google chastity belt.
That was no look.
Well,
No
how
look.
else are you going to look?
I usually
written
write
here
it down.
somewhere?
No, I
Okay.
just stub it in a T-tup. I got it down.
Hopefully you did it right.
Stub it in
All right, guys. Put them up.